Good afternoon. This is the Elliot Wave daily update for the S&P 500, being recorded on Monday, March the 9th at 1:44 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I have to the market caused me to stop and take several breaths this afternoon. Um, Mainly because I was watching the market and I was watching what was happening volatility, and I started to see what I thought was things moving back into risk on trading, but I hadn't really seen a move to above the volatility trigger. But either they adjusted the volatility trigger without telling the rest of us, because man, they started to come back in. And then suddenly, the baskets after basket after basket of buyers just hitting the market, hitting them, flooding it in. And the markets jumped very dramatically from about 3:15 on until the close. Now, I know what you're looking at here, and it looks a whole lot different than what I presented this morning, which is a whole lot different than what was presented over the weekend. But both times I made mention that we're looking for this now, confirming this minute fourth wave to kind of come into play and to finish up. And it appears that it did. Now, what I had added this morning was another a part of a conversation that basically was saying, and I think I started it on Saturday, I may have, that it appears that we need to have this big flush type of a down move, a big flush to kind of just wipe out a lot of this gamma, to just wipe it out and to set it up and to like clear the slates and to go back in and begin to climb out of this negative situation that we've kind of been in. And that's what I think happened. But when I started to see before the announcement to CBS News by the White House, um, that's what I felt was going on. It's like that really looks like they're doing the risk on trade, and it was appearing, at least on my take, in AMD, Broadcom, Google, um, the Mag 7. Basically, the Mag 7 suddenly sprang to life, but I saw them starting in stocks like Broadcom, which actually was pretty much up all day long. For the entire session, I was like, well, what are you doing, Broadcom? What's going on with you guys? And then I kind of checked the options, like, yeah, they had some big options trading and that were going to expire. Now, here's the other thing that I want to just add that maybe many of you don't know, and if you do, please forgive me because I'm not trying to be insulting. But we now have Monday, Wednesday, Friday expirations in the Mag 7, not just in the Mags, which is the ETF, but in the individuals. So we have it in Apple, Amazon, Broadcom, Meta, Microsoft, Tesla. I'm not sure they've added them in Google. They may have. Now, so these are kind of like zero DTE type stuff. So we had an expiration today as well. And that's what the Broadcom thing was all about. Setting it up for that. Now, get this. I may have done all of this work and reframed the count to be more positive, and they might change their mind by Wednesday. Why? Because we have another expiration in these same stocks. So are they doing it for that day? They're doing it. Now, the difference is, says folks, the difference is because in an ETF and in our indexes, when when we have an expiration, it settles into cash. Here in Broadcom today, or in NVIDIA, any of these stocks that have a Monday expiration, it settles into stock. So I just think it opens up a lot of conversation about, gee, before you just got the money, you had to pay it or you received it because it's settled in cash. Now you might have to supply the stock. And so I just think it's extremely interesting at how we are going about dealing with all of this stuff. So again, let's jump in to what I think took place today. And it wasn't something that I've actually brought in because I was expecting a stronger wave C down to finish this minute fourth wave. And it got a dang good start. But then by the time we came in, it had already started to push itself back up away from those lows. Those are pretty strong lows here that we reached. I'd have to go down. Hold on one second. Let me go down to my hourly chart and we take a look at when this took place. That low was yesterday evening for me, but 10 p.m. Eastern is when we hit that low at 65.84 here in the ES. And then this afternoon, we reached 68.18. So it's like 270 points. These are wild moves. Wild moves. If you're a day trader, wild moves. Even when you're wrong and you can get out, you just reverse and suddenly you've got all your money back plus. It's pretty wild. Now, let me go back out to that daily. I want to show you this breakdown. This is something that, again, I've had on my sideline, I've had in my view, and I just wanted to kind of keep it there because I didn't actually think it was going to come through. And that was that it was a triangle for wave four, a triangle pattern for wave four. So here's count to count it out. A, B, C, D, E. Now I got that with the D wave, but I think it'll be okay. And the E, which it can do, spikes down, which actually, took it below the A wave, which is actually what I wanted to get this fourth wave done, but not necessarily had to have it. But we got it. And so I'm labeling it A, B, C, D, E, minuet degree, putting in minute wave four, and we launched up and out of it. Now, accordingly, folks, it needs to continue to launch up and out of the triangle pattern, which would actually suggest that we need to get back above 6,900 and back above 69.55-ish. We need to get out and break through the other side of the triangle. This is the bottom side, needs to break and out of the upside of the triangle. One of the things that I did mention, and I may have talked about it this morning or over the weekend or both, is that we could get this fourth wave and it's real quick. It's a real quick trip. And then something else is going to happen that's going to kick off what could be, if indeed we are going up in a minute fifth wave, which is going to finish at minute wave five, minor wave five, intermediate wave five, primary wave five, and cycle wave three. If we're getting up there and we're finishing up all that stuff, something jarring, globally jarring, is waiting then. That's all I can say because obviously I don't know. But I think if we're finishing that high, it's going to be kicked off by something that will absolutely convince everybody, oh, that's it, we're going, it's done. Rather than, no, almost used a word that I don't want to, fooling around, wondering, is that the high? Is this five down? Et cetera, et cetera. It cleans up, this particular labeling cleans up a lot of things. First of all, I know some people are counting 1, 2, 1, 2, and I don't see how. Because you have to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So if you're doing it just from here, then I'm not sure what the rest of this is. Right? 1, 2, and what's that? So again, the launch was impressive, and the amount that got covered in terms of what, price wise in 45 minutes was impressive to me. Very impressive to me. We have the Dow pretty much holding negative territory, suddenly jump. S&P basically unchanged, jumped, and it was up much higher than this, by the way. NASDAQ was up over 300, so climbing back into that turf. But again, we still have things that come out that could rock this boat. So I'm going to just say I would not be surprised at the thing just turning one more time. The statement that was made is that, oh, yeah, the war is basically, we're all done. We're all done. And so that would be like, okay, nice of you to say. I don't know if everybody agrees with you, particularly Iran, but hey, gotta go with what's being said. And so that's what I'm doing. So this would suggest, what I'm labeling here suggests we get follow through. And we get that follow through. The market's going to finish its extra hour here in 4 minutes. And then we wait for an hour. And then we get Globex. And pretty much from Globex, we should not see any strong downside. Literally, seriously, we should not see any strong downside until we're back above 6,900 or actually above 7,000. As weird as that's going to sound right now. But we're getting ready to knock on 6,800's door. How hard is it going to be for the market to kind of like flip up another 100, and be back above 6,900? Then we take a pause. So again, just a lot of stuff right now, folks. And let's see what happens. Let's see what we go with. So let's go over this again. So there's minute 3. Then we have this was labeled minute 4 for a while because it's a nice clean ABC. And then here we have it. Wave A, wave B, wave C, wave D, wave E. Yep, E goes beyond C equals A pretty much. I know it's strange, but I'm seeing so many strange things because outside of that, I don't know how, rather than to say 1 here, and this low is 65.81, and this low is 65.84. So it didn't necessarily break the 81. So you could say, okay, well, that's still minuet wave 1. And here we have 1, 2, as I had it before, but that's to the downside. And we now need to count 1, 2 to the upside. So how is that going to work out? I dare say I don't know, actually. So that's interesting. If this is 1, and then we have 1, A, B. Let me say, this is wave A, that's wave B, and this is somehow going to be a 5 for wave C, and we could put a 2 down there. Okay, we probably could. It did not break that level, which keeps, I hate doing this, I got to tell you, because I put it in the trash. That this could be minuet wave 1 and this could be minuet wave 2. I'm kind of going to leave it like this. Let's see how this pans out. But the alt would be that it's wave 2 and we just launched up into wave 3. That takes all the pressure off having to kind of go above the triangle, to break above the triangle. That takes that pressure off. So it could be 1, 2. 1, 2. And the interior of it is 1, ABCA, ABCB, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3 to 4 and to 5 into all this mess. And that puts in the 5th, the C, and the 2. I may go with it. So I'm glad I'm bringing up both right now. So that would leave that 4 over here. I mean, by the skin, the slimmest of margins, it didn't come and take it out. 3 points difference, and it didn't take it out. That's amazing if you think about it. So I'm being a stickler for the rules, right? At least on this one. Wave 2 cannot exceed the starting point of wave 1, and wave 4 cannot overlap wave 1 except in the triangle. So those are the main rules that I kind of like, let's not break these, because if we do, then it's probably not doing what we think it is. I'm playing it safe, saying that it was a triangle pattern, and we're starting from that level here in minute wave 5. We're going to see. We're going to see. And let me just take this down to see if we have anything that looks kind of decent. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can get 5 from there. I can get it down. I can get an A, B, and a C. And I could put a 2 there if I had to. And then coming up, 1, 2. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we get a 5. That's 3. And then a 4. And then a 5. And then that's wave 1. So yeah, we could get up here and just still say wave 1, do another wave 2, then do a third launch. And so one thing that I think I need to put up, did I put it up? I did not. Which is going to look a little bit different. Actually, I don't need to do that. I can do it right here. And I got to just open it back up. And I got to go like this to this and put it over to here. Now that's wave 5. And let me just kind of put it this way. I'm going to edit my properties. I'm going to call it that. I'm going to call this this. And we're going to see what this looks like from this level, because it might be a little bit different if we're going to put wave 1 here and the 4 back there. Those levels, of course, are going to look probably not all that much different, to be honest with you, because this is 84 and this is 81. All right, so we get rid of all of that. Well, nope, I can't. I got to get above here. So I will do basically what we need to get to those new all-time highs. That's 0.0822882. And that's really? Wow. Hold on. Well, what is 0.618? 7,015. And I know we got to get above 7,000. That's 18, and that's 43. Where's the 43? There it is, isn't it? Yeah, there. So that's why I didn't include that. So that's why I have 0.882. But we can use 0.00786. There we go, 7132, which breaks to a new high. Doesn't have to go all the way up at 100%, where wave 5 would be equal to wave 1, is at 7281. When we've been moving like we've been moving, and if we do it to the upside, it could be pretty wild. But then suddenly we get, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like, okay, we're going to pull everybody we can pull in. How you're buying the options because now we're going up, we're going up, going up. Go buy Apple, go buy this, go buy everything. And then suddenly reaches a point, and here comes somebody to go like, thank you. Now, boom. And they just take it out. Okay. So I'm kind of going to leave this the way it is right now. Quick review for tomorrow. And this is NFIB optimism and existing home sales. So kind of light. Wednesday, we pick up CPI and monthly federal budget. And then Thursday, initial jobless claims, U.S. trade deficit, housing starts, building permits. Friday, GDP, the first revision from the fourth quarter, personal income and spending, PCE index, durable goods, and job openings, all coming out on Friday. So Friday could be a bigger day. And if we, yeah, I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate. So bringing this down, let's take a look at it on the hourly. And it doesn't look bad. There it is. Does not look bad. How far back can I go? All the way up to, I think that's, yeah, the B wave. The B wave, the C wave, the D wave, the E wave. And I know, A to C, but this one's kind of flat with a little bit of the angle coming from the top. It actually is a flat bottom. And so contracting top. And I'm open for comments because you can tell me, it's like, boy, those triangles are weird. Nope, I don't agree. And you may work with the 1-2-1-2, and I don't blame you. Depends, because I could likely just switch it back over. But right now I'm working on this because in the NASDAQ it did go below. In the NASDAQ it did go below 24,165, which was the level here, and it got down to 24,000. So it did in the NASDAQ. So I'm just equating that the markets are in the same count. But the S&P did not go. Let me just take a check. Let me just take a check. If the SPX did, good enough for me. So now I got to bring this down, bring this up, and spread it out so I can go in and see. There is that fourth way. No, right here it is. So here in the SPX, that was 65.22. No, not even close. So here it's going to be more difficult. I may have to flip it. Because the SPX is kind of a little bit different, and it's showing me that this likely is wave one, and this is all a series of 1-2s, and now we're launching up and out of that. Okay, so sorry I didn't check this before, but I'll put that together. It'll be ready for tomorrow morning. So it does look like, at least via the SPX, and that's the main one, that we didn't even come close to here. So interesting. And so I'm probably will flip it over to 1 and then 1-2, 1-2. Yeah, I'll work it out. Don't worry, I'll get it. So this could be 1-2, 1 ABC, maybe. I don't know. I will get it together. And then we have those. And of course, it's going to be very interesting now that oil is back at 85 after hitting like 125 overnight, 129, somewhere up there. And the dollar is declining, and platinum and silver caught a bid, and gold is attempting to. So it was down a lot more. Now it's only down $10, going, finishing until we reopen here. All right, folks. Wild. Let's see where we get to tomorrow. And the next update will be tomorrow morning.